What up? It's a book reviews here to do yet another. I am So Crates, and with me, as always, is Pluto, and we are
Also
here
great.
to get another one done. How you doing today, man? Are you upset that you are no longer a planet?
I am so upset, dude.
Yeah, we're all pretty pissed off about it here at It's Book Reviews. So here we are again. We're getting a little bit of semblance of actually doing this again. So, hey, we're going to ride it while we can. Am I right or am I right?
Amen, brother. It feels
So,
like we're on to something.
I mean, probably
For
not,
us, at
but
least. Yeah,
yeah.
not for no one else but us.
Okay, so earlier in the year we did like at some point all the fiction we had done, we put them on a tier list. As you can see, what's already in place is from earlier in 2024, and here we are in the beginning of 25, and we're late to the party. We are going to finish out our 2024 fiction tier list. We should have another one coming up. Hopefully, if we can get it done quick enough of doing all of our nonfiction, because this is only about half or some fraction of what we read last year. But yeah, I mean, just to review really quick, I mean, S tier, we've got The Light of All That Falls, which is the final book in the Lycanius trilogy. We have got Golden Sun, the second book in the Red Rising series, as well as Crimson Campaign, which I believe is also the second book of the
Yep.
Powder Mage trilogy. And I mean, you can go back and watch that video to get more details. There are definitely some in A tier that like Morningstar, man, I feel like is an S tier book. And
Yeah.
honestly, maybe even some of the other Lycania's trilogy stuff. But either way, we're gonna leave it how it is from the last video and go ahead and jump into it. It was a pretty
Yeah, the
fiction heavy year last year, I think.
only ones
Mm.
that I feel like are even worth mentioning are the D tier with Nevernight in the 5th season.
Mm.
Like those are I feel like
Absolutely
D and
terrible.
S and A are like the only things worth mentioning. But dude, this does confirm we did read all of Red Rising last year as well.
Yeah, I couldn't remember and I couldn't be bothered to look it up on my Goodreads, but you are correct.
Which is
And here we are now
crazy.
caught up. So we won't get the final book, Lightbringer, in this because we read Lightbringer in 2025 here, but we did get up to Dark Age. So without further to do,
Rip old Dark Age.
Dark Age, here we go. And I mean, it's either S or A, I would think. What's your initial thought? I mean, it's so good.
I'm trying to remember. I mean, definitely, yeah, S or A. But if we're like putting it with the ones that we read this year, I mean, what even? I mean, if well, I guess we're giving no spoilers. I'm assuming on this
Yeah,
because
no
I'm trying to
spoilers.
remember what happens in Morningstar. Like I know it's a good book, but
Yeah,
you
I
know
mean,
what
it
I
all starts
mean.
to jumble together. It was earlier in the year that we
Dark
we
Age to
started the
me
series.
felt different though. Like I liked it a lot more than Iron Gold. I remember.
Yeah. I think Iron Gold's definitely the weakest of the series, even though it's still great. I've always looked back and felt like Golden Sun and Morningstar were the best, but now that we've read
Yeah,
Dark Age and Lightbringer, it's like I don't
yeah,
even know, man. I mean, Dark Age is what it sounds like. It is so dark, and usually I love that and I'm into it. I mean, the characters were at some absolute lows,
oh gosh,
and
yeah.
some terrible things happen, man. Just some heartbreaking things. But I mean, I'd be comfortable with putting it in A tier, like either probably right behind Morningstar. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I think that makes sense for
I
us.
agree.
Whereas look, we're not going to put it on here, but just since we're talking about it and we're caught up on the series, where would you put Lightbringer? Do you
See, this
think?
is where it's tough. Like, I think I might have Dark Age ahead of Morningstar just because I can't, and that might be more recency bias than anything.
I mean, dude,
Because
throw
I
it in
just,
front, man.
well, because I'm just trying to think, dude, I don't, Lightbringer and Dark Age were very similar to me with how much I enjoyed them, which was like a lot. Like, because I
Yeah,
remember after I read Dark Age, I was like, that was when I really started
yeah,
considering I almost said Stormlight, is Red Rising like better than Stormlight for me?
right.
So they're
Which, by
like
the way, I
top
said
of
that
A.
to Jake on the phone today. I said, "Dude, you need
Oh
to
gosh.
read Red Rising. Like, it might be better than Stormlight." He goes, "Dude, shut up. I'm getting off the phone." So he hadn't read any of it, so he can't speak to it. But it was just funny. But
It's
I'm
also
with you.
taking 2 months to read the last book, so
That's true, Jake. If you're
it's
watching
like, come
this, I
on.
mean, speed it up, bro. Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm fine with putting Dark Age in front of Morningstar because I would agree. Lightbringer might be. I mean, Lightbringer is probably up there with Golden Sun to me.
Yeah,
Honestly, that was so good, man. It
yeah.
was
The
so
ending
good.
of it's definitely up there for sure.
It's crazy. Okay, so Dark Ages in A tier. Onto
So we read that one
Elantris.
together. This is one you read.
Um, yeah, this is
I
one
have
that
not
I
read
just
this.
read. Elantris is bottom of C tier probably. I'd maybe put it. Yeah, I'd put it above Assassin's
Oh
Apprentice,
no,
but
poor
not
no.
above. I wouldn't put
Ember
it above
Soul.
Ember Soul. Elantris is good. It's Sanderson's first work in the Cosmere. Or is it his first work ever? It might be his first published work, I think.
Okay.
He's definitely grown a lot as a writer. That's all I'll say. Yeah, Elantris in C tier.
All right, this is one that I read. And then there were none by Agatha Christie. My sister encouraged me to read this. I don't know why I allowed that. I mean, it was, it's one of those that has like high ratings and whatnot. It's your she, I guess, was foundational when it comes to the murder mystery. So I mean,
Mm.
it was decent, but
Is that
it
what
was
this is? Is a murder mystery?
yeah, it's like 10 people go to an island. They're all invited by
That's right. You
some
told me about it.
secret,
That's right.
dude, and he's supposed to be on the island. He's not there. Then people slowly start to die, and then they're like, oh, wait, why? And you kind of find out they all have similar backstories to where they've all like got this one bad thing that they've done in their lives, and they've justified it in different ways. And so, I
Mm,
mean, it's interesting in that
classic.
capacity, but the ending of it, I just didn't love. It felt similar to what your thought was of The Silent Patient and how the ending was. It was kind of an unreliable narrator ending.
Mhm. Mhm.
So while this book was like an easy, like quick read, I don't know. It's also just not my like genre of choice. So
Yeah. Yeah,
I
you
I
definitely
would put
branched
it
out here.
I would put it above Prince of Thorns
Oh,
was
better than Prince of
wild.
Thorns. Okay. Well, yeah, it wasn't a
It was
crazy good
wild.
book, so
The
actually,
Way
yeah.
of Shadows, dude, is so hit or miss for me because there's so many
Yeah.
things I loved about this book, and then there's so many things that you just cannot.
He just took some liberties that I can't abide by. I mean,
Exactly.
we've talked
But
about it
anyway,
at length.
so there's that one. All right, I guess another one that I read, dude. Honestly, this is gonna feel blasphemous because of where the other Jay Kristoff book is on this list. But dude, it's maybe S tier for me. I'm just gonna be
Really?
honest, dude. It's good.
Really? It's
It's
up there
really
with
good.
those
It's
3.
either S tier or like it's as
I mean, dude,
good as
it's you read it,
these 2
bro,
books are
so
for me.
I
It's
mean,
just tough though because so the Empire of the Damned is the second book in I guess it's Empire of the Vampire is the first book. But man, I think I'm kind of a sucker for vampires, but it's a very grim dark story. So I mean it's not the same vibe as Pierce Brown, but it's not like a Sanderson vibe where it's like everyone's good, when you really think about it, kind of thing. Like
mhm.
it's all morally gray characters, but it's without the. I don't know if anyone's seen our Nevernight review, but it was not great. So it is not
I
like
did not love it.
YA in that sense, but I love this series. So the third book I think is supposed to come out next year, and so I mean I'm hyped for sure.
That's nice. Alright, let me get, I can't quite remember. I think it's yeah, so I'm gonna do you've got
Which one's the first one? This one?
so the first one is gonna be the Alloy of Law. Um, so yeah, I read Era 2, Andrew has not. Era 2 is famously not quite as good, I think, to most people as
Wait, I
Era
read the
1.
the Alloy of Law is the first one, right?
Yeah. Oh,
I've
you
read the
did read
first
Alloy
one.
of Law, that's right. Well, I was gonna put it, like, B tier somewhere. It's
Yeah.
probably
It's dude, Shorefall being here, dude, is I saw that and I was like, I don't know what we were thinking with that, but
yeah, it's
anyway.
probably a C tier, but I would put Alloy of Law above Shorefall, and I
Oh
would
yeah.
what is that Grapes of Wrath? I'd put it above
Yeah.
that. I wouldn't put it above Red Rising, so you can put it behind The Martian. The
Yeah.
next one in the series, and just to say, Era 2, I enjoyed it. It's not the best. It's by no means the worst. It's good. There were, especially towards the end, there were moments that really got me, and there were characters I really like, but it's just not as good as Mistborn Era 1, and that's just tough. I mean,
Yeah.
you're comparing it throughout naturally, but then also it's Era 1's being referred to, like the characters from that era, and you're just like, if only.
Yeah.
Um, Next one is Shadows of Self. This is actually my second favorite in Era 2, so I would put it low A, I think. It's not above Iron Gold. So
It's
you can
better
put
than
it
Prophet.
No,
That's
dude,
what
it's
this
not
one
better
is.
than The Prophet. Well, you can
Okay.
put it The Prophet's really short. I mean, The Prophet's like a yeah, you can leave it where it is, I think.
Okay.
Um, Next up is Bands of Mourning. This is my least favorite in this series, so you can put this at the end of B if you want. Because there are still
Is
redeeming
it better than
qualities,
Tress?
especially yeah, it's better than Tress. The most redeeming quality in this specific book of the series is the character Steris. She's so awesome. I
Is
love
that
her in
her?
this book. No, that's, I assume that's, God, I can't remember her name. Steris' sister, who's more of a oh my god, what is her name? I mean, the impact these books had on me was not severe. And then my favorite of the series was the last one, The Lost Metal. I would put that just above Shadows of Self.
Better than Iron Gold? Better than Fire and Blood?
No, dude, I don't think any of this series is better than Red Rising or Fire and Blood. Fire and Blood was just so niche for me, so I really
Yeah.
enjoyed it. So yeah, that's Era 2 for me. It's a low A, high B tier series for me. So yeah, that's it on Era 2. Next we have Fury of the Gods. We have the final book in the Bloodsworn trilogy. You and I both read this one. To give you guys a little backstory, we loved the first one and we really enjoyed the second one. I don't know. I can't remember
Yeah.
which one we liked more, but we really enjoyed those. I mean, those were solid, probably solid A or very high B tier books.
Yeah.
Dude, Fury might be. I mean, Fury's probably a C tier for me, bro. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
real with you.
dude, I'm gonna be real, man. It's 1000% C tier,
Yeah,
and
like
it's
I'm not
more
gonna.
not. It's just the. I mean, you can go watch our video on it, and again, I've read the Faithful and the Fallen series by John Gwynn. It's one of my all time favorite series, and this doesn't even touch it for me. So it's not like a John Gwynn thing, like hating on John Gwynn in general. It's just, if
No.
anything, that makes it to why this book just didn't hit. Just because of his
Yeah,
other works are better.
I haven't read the Faithful and the Fallen series, but because of the first two books in this series, I definitely had high expectations for the end of a series. And it just didn't meet those, man. There were like again, like you said, go watch our video on that if you're interested. I mean, it did just come out at the end of last year, at the end of 2024. It's one of the last books we read or in the later months, whatever it was. But yeah, C tier.
What are your thoughts? Do you think The Way of Shadows?
I think The Way of Shadows is better, man.
I
And
do too.
Tress.
I do too.
Um It's just and it's because of The Way of Shadows is a first book in a series that we have yet to finish. We only read that first one, and there are a lot of really fun things in that book. There were just other things that brought it down a lot for us. But Fury was just I mean, I had so much faith, dude, and because you know even better than I do because you've read his other work. You know he's better than that.
Oh yeah.
Um,
It
so
just
it was disappointing, man.
the
Still fun,
liberties he takes in this book are
dude.
crazy.
I mean, the cover
I
alone,
mean,
a
yeah.
massive liberty is taken, and I say the word massive specifically. Like,
Oh my god.
um, so
That's
on to the
funny.
next one, Stoner by John Williams. I'm going to probably shock you with this, Andrew. This is an S tier book.
Okay.
Now,
I feel like I remember you saying that.
this is totally different than everything else on this list. This isn't fantasy or sci-fi. This is just fiction. This is actually a classic fiction work. John Williams has a few books that are well known in the classic fiction, classic literature realm. It is just a book about a guy, and that is literally it. Like a guy whose life is mostly from what you get like average to not that great. Like, nothing
Yeah.
in his life is amazing. Like, it's just a dude. He lives, in kind of his I guess maybe it's his 20s, maybe a little older. He goes through the depression era. So he's in a time where a lot of people's lives suck regardless, but he's a professor. That's like his career. And there's just these it's just the writing, man. This book is strictly the writing. There is nothing I could tell you about the story of what Johnston is it William Stoner? I can't remember his first name. Of Stoner's life that would excite you about this book. All I can tell you is the writing is so good that you don't care what it's about. It's just great, man. It's like a
Okay.
very realism type of writing. It's something you see a lot in these classic works where it's just like a matter of fact style of writing and it's very I don't even know the words to use because I'm so stupid. I just started reading the other day, so I can't think of how to describe it. But you should read this if you have any interest in. if you're watching this and you have any interest in branching off from what the majority of this, dude, I saw that.
Dude, I'm sorry, it's just bothering me, bro. And I'm like, I can't handle it where it's at. Sorry,
If
keep
you're just
going.
listening, Andrew has officially moved Shorefall down to the C tier. So rest in peace, RJB. Anyway, check out Stoner. It's a totally different type of classic fiction work, and it's short. It's a really easy read. It was recommended to by a friend of mine, and it's great. So yeah, S tier book, totally different than these, but it's S tier nonetheless.
It's a
You're up
short book
next.
too, or
Yeah, it's very short. I have it. It's I don't know if you can see it from this angle, but it's small. I think it's like 200 something pages.
all right. The next one is mine, The Tattooist of Auschwitz. Um, this is like an era I'm like extremely interested in, just historically with like World War II in Germany. And
Oh,
this
you
book
don't
was
say.
good. um, but I don't. It wasn't. It was good, but there's just some elements in this book that I'm like, it just felt like they were focused on a little too much. Like throughout the, so essentially, it's following this one guy who becomes, he is Jewish, goes to Auschwitz, and ends up getting the job as the tattooist, which is like a really good job. But like throughout the narrative, it's like the author continually chooses to like weirdly look at how much this dude like loved his mom and like how beautiful he thought his mom was. Like it's always referencing like how like visually appealing, I guess, he found his mom. It's just, and dude, it threw me off because it's not like it's a one or two times thing. It happens all the time, and he kind of uses that to compare his like way he looks at women, and which it's supposed to be in like a positive way. On like, hey, he respects the beauty of all women and that kind of thing. But it's talked about so much, it's like, all right, this feels weird, and I feel like,
Yeah.
especially given like the context of what is happening. But I mean, I will say it's definitely worth a read in a sense of like it being, I could see where it's a classic and it gives you so much perspective on, what occurred because it is based off of a true story of this dude who ended up getting this job. So it's a quick read too, but it's not. I don't know. It was just the tone of it was very weird at times, but again, still very informative.
Hmm.
I mean, I can
Interesting.
barely read what this says, but I know it's yours.
So yeah, that's next up is The Stranger by Albert Camus. I believe a French author. So this is a really popular classic. This one and this and Stoner don't quite belong in this tier list, but they are fiction. But it's not fantasy or sci-fi either. This is it's another classic. This book is probably a low C for me. It's supposed to be like super impactful and important, and I do get the merit of this book to a degree, but essentially the theme and the messaging of this very, very short read is that life is meaningless and people need to learn to live with that fact and that uncertainty. And I haven't read enough of this author or explored enough of the lore around this book and his other work. But even if you want to accept that argument and the substantiality of it, which there can be arguments made in this vein where you go, okay, I get what you're saying, but the way it's delivered is very elementary and very unrelatable in my opinion. I mean, this character, it's first person, and this guy is just making very, very stupid decisions for no reason at all, and kind of just he goes with the flow of life. Like I think that's kind of the idea. Is he just no matter what happens, kind of good things happen in one part of the book, and then it gets absolutely terrible for him, and he just doesn't care. And it's like, that's how you're supposed to live? Like, if something terrible happens to you or you do something terrible, you just shouldn't care. And I know I'm missing if some, like, expert on his work watched this, they'd probably go ham explaining to me what I'm missing. I'm sure there's a lot because I am by no means a literature aficionado. So a lot of the times when I read classic work, the themes and the point of it goes so far above my head that when I look into it, I'm like, oh, like, and then I still have to go back and read certain parts to even understand how that's there. So again, I'm sure I'm missing it, but I don't want to. It's not more that the theme itself is terrible. I just felt like the delivery was so unrelatable that you finish reading and you're like, "Okay, I guess, but who would live like this guy?"
Yeah.
Like, make it like, it just didn't fit in something that I think is relatable for the vast majority of humanity, unless most people are way more depressed and sad and hate their lives than I realize, because that's the vibe you get from this guy. So,
Where you
the
got?
reason I would recommend it to someone is because it's apparently an important work, and it's extremely short. It took me like an hour to read, so low C tier.
You got like a specific place?
I mean, dude, you can slap it right in between, right between Elantris and Shorefall if you want,
Okay.
because I'll never forgive Assassin's Apprentice for having no assassinations. Like, I mean, sorry for the spoiler, but whatever. Oh, this is
Sure.
another one that only I read. This was recommended. So a friend of mine knows the guy who wrote this. It's a friend or an acquaintance of his, and it's nobody's read it. It's called The Rise of the Red Hand. It's, you know, fine. Uh, I'd put it in the C tier. That's all I'll say. You
Anywhere,
could put it at
any.
you could put it at the bottom, just because it's, I mean, it's a complete unknown. This is a, complete unknown author that I know through a friend, or I heard of through a friend.
Unknown to the audience, but you know, so it's like, I don't know, old Jason.
Yeah, so I mean, I'll read more of his work as it comes out. I think one of them's actually out. I mean, they're super short, so, and it wasn't a bad read at all. It was just kind of like, I don't remember anything about it, and I remember not really feeling connected or,
Yeah,
finding much. So
it's
again,
writing's tough.
I couldn't do any better. So,
Yeah,
and
I
here we
agree.
are, the final fantasy read of
This is the last read for me
2024.
too. Yeah, of 2024.
Yeah, so we finished, this came out at the beginning of December. We finished it after a couple weeks between us both. Wind and Truth, Brandon Sanderson. I mean, it's
Which
S
one is?
tier for me.
Yeah,
Um, it's S tier.
where
So
this is where it gets dicey.
this is where it gets dicey. I feel like it's either
I feel like it's better than Crimson Campaign, right?
yeah, I
Or
think it's better than Crimson Campaign, and I don't
is the
okay,
light
so
all the
so
falls the
here's
best
yeah.
book we read last year?
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to figure out. I mean, it's hard to say When in Truth is not the best,
It's
but
most
you can
anticipated.
kind of compare these in a way. So book 5, When in Truth, is the end of an arc, is the end of the first arc for Stormlight. So it's supposed to be an ending of sorts. It's definitely not like the end of a trilogy, like The Light of All That Falls is, but it is an ending of sorts. So to compare the endings, God, dude, I thought I was heading in a direction where I was gonna say The Light of All That Falls is better in that way, but it's still, I mean, we loved Wind and Truth. There's definitely people who didn't enjoy it as much, but, dude, I'm fine with it being number 1, in the S tier list for this year. I
I like
think that it is difficult to say which of those first 3 are really, like,
true.
which one really
I could
meant the
make an
most.
argument for either, like any of them for sure.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, Golden Sun's different because it's the second book in a series that has 6 books out so far, and there's gonna be a 7th. But dude, it's just so good, man. I mean, in
Golden
the
Sun's
ending
really
of it, I mean, it is still to this day the most wild ending to a book I have ever encountered.
Yeah. Well,
I
it's
mean, dude,
also
I couldn't
piggybacks off
believe
of
it.
Red Rising, which, dude, for me is, I mean, it could be lower on this list for me, honestly. Like the more I think about it, but you have to have it because it's
Yeah,
foundational. But
you have to have it. I
it
don't think I'd put it much
completely,
lower on the list, but I agree with you. I mean, it's definitely the weakest of the series,
well, I
and
mean,
I
it
definitely
completely
wouldn't have guessed that the series would become one of my
uh,
favorite after reading Red Rising.
exactly, exactly. Which after Golden Sun, that's the vibe you get for the rest of the series, which you're like, okay, this is what like I came here for. Like he's
Yeah,
delivering on what I wanted. So,
yeah.
um, I agree.
Yeah, and then
So,
The
I mean,
Light of All That Falls, I mean, the ending to that trilogy is
yeah,
just one of the most beautiful, well put together payoffs I've ever read. It may be the best one to this day. It may be the best payoff, but Wind and Truth, man, is like so far up my alley with the world building and the answers you get. But then it also builds upon that because it's only the end of the first half of the series. So yeah, we have
I
a
feel
video
like
on Wind
Chase
and Truth you can
Ripley,
watch.
man, I feel like this next series, The Will of the Many, I mean, he's only gonna get better as a writer, right? So, I don't know. I have a
Probably.
weird feeling
I
that
am
James
excited to read that.
Islington, he's gonna, like, throw out a banger series because that one was already really good, but like The Shadow of What Was Lost, that is, or the Lycanius trilogy. But there was definitely some
Yeah.
times where it's like, all right, he can cut back here or whatever. But his ideas and the way that he, you know, achieves his ideas, I mean, you can tell he's got some S tier. Just because I mean, I don't know. Sometimes people's ideas just aren't that great. So I mean, they can have great
I
writing,
mean,
but
yeah.
it goes so far. Whereas his, like you said, the light of all that falls. I mean, it's good writing, but it's also, I mean, like solid plot.
Yeah. And the ending's
So
great. So this is where we stand. I think the only thing like just immediately I see is I feel like at this point, I feel like Dark Age and Morningstar are better than Promise of Blood.
agree.
But I'm comfortable with I think where everything else is at.
So this is it, dude. This
So
is
yeah,
2024 for us, man.
yeah, that's 2024 fiction for us. We will plan to have a nonfiction book video and podcast thingy out as well. But yeah, if you read some of these books, let us know what you think. Let us know what you think about our tier list here, if you agree or disagree. And I reckon we will see you on the next one.
Oh yeah.